Okay, thank you for watching here on YouTube at Blooming Light. Update all the shenanigans. And yes, my son and myself, we're okay. Okay? We're okay despite some of the very dense negativity we have experienced in the last, for I don't know how long, but especially maybe over the last few days. Okay? There's a lot of good things happening, but a part of that is you also deal with the other stuff. Okay, it's kind of a part of life. And in our case, it's because of a lot of other shit. Okay, because it ain't normal, it's very abnormal. All right. I talked about on my TikTok platform how I apply the lessons that I've learned about encountering antagonistic personality types and things like that, and how how you transfer this over. And I can see where I've grown. I can see where the healing has happened, and how I'm able to apply it. And so I was just trying to share. I went a very long route, and there was a lot of energies that stepped in as I was doing that, as distractions, because I was out and about outside. And so I'm going to upload that here for y'all. So this discussion is the update. So I said that I was going to share something that took place tonight, which the original air date is Sunday. I want to say Sunday, January the 5th, 2025. Okay. And so as I was outside in my son's apartment complex walking around, I was on the phone. Okay. And I stepped out. For some of you who wonder, sometimes what I've been doing lately, since I can't really trust, I have reason to not trust the environment, okay, that he is in. I have reason to believe that his privacy, my privacy, have been compromised. I have reason to believe, okay? And you have to kind of follow my whole story to, in order to know, like, why do you have reason? Oh, I have reason to believe. Okay, so ever since I really became aware, so I've started doing things like a little bit different. So I have multiple devices. There are times, excuse me, where I will go outside to have a conversation on the phone with somebody, because then I'm outside. I don't feel like it's compromised. You see what I'm saying? To a degree, because I mean, of course you can have nosy people, but at least if I'm outside, the element of, if there's any weirdy shits going on inside my son's unit, that eliminates that. And if I switch it up in devices, in terms of devices that are not connected to any of my accounts, then that also helps to eliminate that as a factor. Okay, so I was outside and I was on a phone with someone. And as I was just outside, walking around the area, a lot took place. So I was outside for quite a while. So I was running my mouth. So one of the things that happened, separate from the update, but it kind of might go with it, like symbolism. So there was like 4 cats running around. One of them is a girl. And this has been happening all day today, and then it happened again later. I don't know what it was about, and they kept running like near past my son's unit. Later on this evening, when I was outside on the phone, this happens again. And the girl cat that's taken a liking to me, okay, it seemed like she kept trying to get away and run towards where, like near my son's unit, like she was trying. And these 3 boy cats was chasing her. Okay. Earlier they had her pinned down. One of them had her pinned down, and the other ones was like surrounding her. And it pissed me off. I saw this and I went downstairs and I cussed out the cats. I cussed out the boy cats. I mean, I think I sprayed them or made them get off her. I said, hey. I was like, no, Miss No, because she was crying and running and trying to get away, right? So I went and I said, okay, here I come. I yelled out the window first. Then I went downstairs. I said, here I come. I was like, why? Because not the cats. I was like, get your ass, right? So I sprayed them, and they, they ran, but they wouldn't leave her alone, mind you. Okay, so this kept on going. I cussed them out. I was like, no means no, right? I was like, ain't that like a nigga? That's what I started acting up. I was like, that's just like a nigga cat. I said, this is acting like just like a nigga cat. Okay, she don't want to be bothered with you. Your entitlement, because she's a girl. And maybe she's in the heat, or maybe they, whatever. And so this entitlement, fuck how she feeling, or whatever her cat language is, you know what I'm saying? They just gonna make her bitch. You know what I'm saying? Piss me off, cuss them cats out so bad. And so anyway, since they kept at it, I kept at it. I ended up getting some bug spray, and I ran around until she eventually got away. I helped her to get away. Because they was not going to quit. And then she was trying to find little spots to hide. I was like, oh, this is sad. And it seemed like she kept trying. I was like, oh, man. It was like getting to me. I was like, oh, come on. And then it was pissing me off. It was reminding me of, the reason why I say this is symbolism, because it was reminding me of how toxic people are. How they like to gang up on people. Weak people do that, by the way. How they like to get together to gang up on someone that's vulnerable because they're too weak on their own. And so it was pissing me off. I was like, hell no. And so I was like, okay, well, I felt like I was going to be the one doing what a lot of divine masculines are supposed to be doing. So I was like, nah, I don't care. I'm going to run these motherfuckers. Because they ass out. And one of the man cats, the boy cats, was like meowing back at me and stuff. Because I was talking to them because I was like, y'all need to go. And he's like, he turned around and looked at me. And I was like, what? I was like, get your ass. Get your ass on. She don't want to be bought. Take the hint. She is not your goddamn prop. Right? But that is how toxic people, they're entitled. Isn't it? Isn't that how they act? They're entitled. The world has shaped them and such. Okay? But because they're weak, I'm going to keep saying that until enough people understand the language of why. It's a reason why I talk like that. Because they're weak on their own. So they have to gang up. That's the only route they got. They have to. Because if they were to stand toe to toe, if one of the man cats, okay, if it was just to be the man cat, one, and her, that's equal, isn't it? So she could whoop his ass, huh? Tear him a new one, take his whole ass down, right? She could whip his ass like, niggas, me and you. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, she might still lose, but there's at least a fighting shot because it's her and him. Now, in cat language, because they're about the same size and stuff like that. I understand that in human, you still might lose, right? But you definitely, just do that times 3. There were 3 nigga cats. Okay? And I'm only calling them nigga cats, not because I'm not referencing color or ethnicity. I'm referencing ghetto-ness. Okay, it was 3 nigga cats. Okay, that was chasing her, and you know, I think they wanted to take turns. You know, I don't know if they wanted to take turns or if they was just, you know, wanted to make sure the one got to do whatever. And again, people like that are weak to me. How come they can't stand what you told her? See, I'ma always ask them questions like, how come it's gotta be a group effort, bitch? Why does it have to be a group effort? Because you're weak. So after I finally finished, I'm being silly now. So I finished with the cats. You know, the girl cat that I actually like, she's cute. And she likes Darrell. If she sees us, she'll follow us around and cry and all that stuff. And she wants to play. And so I like her. So it pissed me off. I was like, look, I like cats, but I'll fuck y'all up. Okay? Y'all finna get fucked up tonight. Because your bitch asses need to go on with your stink ass. You need to leave her alone. She don't want to be bothered. Go find some other cat hole somewhere to fuck. Okay? She don't, you know, shit. Anywho, then I kept running my mouth because I had to get off the phone because it started happening while I was on the phone when I was downstairs. And so I was like, okay, you know, won't call you back, went upstairs. And then I looked out the window. Then I had to go back downstairs. And then I dealt with the cats for a while. Then I called the person back. And then I finished the conversation. And I was on the phone. Now, as all that's happening on the phone, walking around, like, telling the story, giving a lowdown about how I've learned some lessons, how I apply the lessons, dealing with toxic types in professional arena, business arena, personal business affairs, and how I can see the progression. But I wanted to give the example so that for the rest of us moving forward, now we're going to see how this all unfolds and come into play. Huh? So I'm not going to go all into that because the gist of all that is I essentially just learned about how those signs are always there, but due to the conditioning and the vulnerabilities, thinking and believing there's no other options or feeling limited, allowing myself to bypass it sometimes. And then they only prove me right in the end. Like the things that start to take place reveals what I sensed from the beginning. So I learned about you take your time in situations where you don't have to rush, don't. And then understanding that though the options may not be as easily or readily available, if you give yourself some space, you have options. And it's always best to pay attention to the details and slow down and understand that you have options. And then also it simply taught me that a lot of the people in various arenas that do try to portray this image of, you know, like legal law, upstanding letter of the law, like because of my personal experience with some of them, this is why I know they full of shit. Because as I reference and go backtrack to things that took place, that clearly reveals that when it suits them, they will make concessions. And when it doesn't suit them, they get amnesia about that, and then all of a sudden want to come off as these stringent letter of the law. Okay? So that was on that one. I'm like, that's on like bullshit. You done fucked up. You forgot. You forgot. So save it, nigga. Save it twice. So now to this one. Kept on the phone, and I was even updating that person about basically what I ended up updating y'all about. So as this all was happening on the phone, I'm standing right there towards the front entrance of where the apartment complex. There's a gate near the front, the street or whatever. And I was bumping my gums, and I looks up, and I see a black truck come in. I can't tell y'all why I do certain things when I do them, in terms of why do I look up at certain moments, or why do I turn. I don't know. I just know I did. So I look up. I still didn't think nothing of it. I just looked up, and I saw a black truck with red rims and some red and black writings. Says sports or something on the side. I want to say maybe the passenger side of the truck. The trucks pulls in. They don't go through the gate. They pull in. They go to the right, and they park near the manager's office. You know, very, very tinted windows, like limousine niggas, like shit, like midnight and shit, right? Tinted ones, but I can still see though. And them laser, that's that sonic ears and laser eyes. So, or cat eyes can see at night. Anywho, I was just standing there, and I'm telling you, I was talking for a long time. This is how I know I never left once I came back outside. I was standing there talking for a long time. Okay? And again, something told me to look up again, because I noticed that they parked and never got out, because I'm still bumping my gums, walking and hee-heeing, whatever. And I noticed that nobody never got out, right? Never got out to go to a mailbox, to go to the front door of the office, to go. No one never got out. Somebody gonna say, oh, you know, that's people are doing, yeah. So I waited out. Okay. I didn't go right away. Kept talking. I'm like, damn, a long time is really passing. Like, who randomly just pulls in? I'm like, okay. Don't worry. I didn't bother him. But I did go over there. Yep, I sure did. Because I wanted to see. I wanted to see up close. I didn't bother. I didn't do anything. You know, I'm like, okay, that's odd. Like, what is that? Like, and these things, you know, I'll take notice of it, obviously, when I'm out, because it seems like that's when activity gets interesting. There's some things that happened before that, but I'm not going to go too deep in terms of one of my son's neighbors. Yep, I zone in just that quick. And I calculate the movement just that quick. So I walked around that truck, motherfucker. Yes, I did. I sure did. And I looked that thing up and down, because I wanted to take record. I was still on the phone talking too. I was telling the person that I was talking to. I sure was. Exactly what was going on. And then I walked away, right? And so I was still talking, bumping my gums. And I said, okay. And then I walked away. Because I was looking, I was like, I'm trying to put your seat back, nigga. I ain't trying to put the seat back, so bloomy bloom. Can't see your ass. And then, I know that's going to spook him out, huh? I know. Anyway, then, so I left from there, went back to where I was originally standing, still watching the truck. Because I'm like, this is strange. I'm like, okay, but let me just keep talking, whatever. I'm not going to do nothing. I ain't finna touch people's car. I'm not finna do none of that. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm finna just walk myself back, you know, where I was. A long time passed, some more. They're still sitting there, never get out. And then now they finally eventually starts the truck up and leave. And they do a U-turn. They go to the right, which is the only way you can go. And they do a U-turn so they can go to, you know, coming back, I guess, to, you know. They went down far for a minute, and I think that was the strategy to see, because, you know, I'm hip to this shit. From the streets, people, gracious God. I know hood code, nigga. Okay, so they didn't do the U-turn immediately, right? But I kind of figured it out. Because at first I was like, okay, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, nah, hold up. And I was telling the person on the phone, I was like, wait. I'm gonna see if my suspicions are correct. And lo and behold, I was like, oh, they did that to see if I was going to walk away, like to see what was going to happen. Turned around, and this is when they discovered that I'm still there. I was like, oh, shit, she's still there. I don't know what that shit is about. You know, I'm like, And then, because I'm giving y'all the lowdown, the update. Those of us that got real stalkers, we have cyber stalkers, literal ones, okay? So after, let me see, I think it was after that. Like I told y'all, the environment, since my stalkers are simultaneously watching me online, I am aware. See, that's the part I think, that's the part that I think people aren't catching about me. I am aware that my stalkers come on my lives. So, in other words, when I come on my lives, there's going to be some DMings going on with folks. There's going to be some messages. People going to come out on their balconies, and then they going to send messages for the ones who don't got the alerts already. Then they going to text that one and call that one. And then some are going to send some randos. The drunk from downstairs going to all of a sudden want to go ride their bike. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be some... It's going to be some random, seemingly random shit. You know, people going to try to come to get you in to engage. I'm not stupid. It's not that I'm choosing. I'm doing what I'm doing on purpose. So it's like, bitch, look, no. See, because once upon a time, due to my politeness, I want to call the disease of politeness that I... the empath, people pleaser, you know, shit, wounded empath, right? Since, you know, because it's like polite, you have to. Now I'm like, no, I don't. Like, actually, I don't have to. I'll just shake my head, like, because I'm not going to get, I won't even say much. I'll just be like, Because you're not going to, you know, first and foremost, you're not going to get me talking. Okay? I'm not going to create a court with you. That's number one. Sorry. Number 2, you're not about to get your moment. You know I'm live. And you're trying to get some kind of a signal and some acknowledgement. I'm not going to even give you that. No, sorry. Rando folks is coming in driving. You know, it wouldn't, I'm telling y'all, it wouldn't be happening. I promise you. Mm-mm. And also now they're like, shaking my head. No, that's about all you're going to get. Nope. Not engaging. Nothing. Even the drum. Once upon a time, I'm telling y'all, now that I know what's going on, I'm like, nope. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm. Very interesting. That's all I gotta say. Some very interesting, strange things. You know? And sometimes I catch stuff on an accident. I swear. Just like I was on the phone. It's an accident, right? Outside, happened to be. Okay? Other shit too. I'm telling y'all, it's weird. On an accident. And because, I think it's a combination. Like I said, I am from the street. I happen to be educated, but I'm from the streets. I'm from the, yes. I kind of just don't look like, you see what I'm saying? So I know the BS, the lingo. For an example, those of us that grew up in the hood or poor, huh? I'm about to say something. Those of y'all who was from the hood or poor, you gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. How many of you all can ever recall there's only about 3 different scenarios where you hide your vehicle? And we have all been here at some point, at least on one of the 3 scenarios. Okay? Every last one of us, if this rests for. The first reason you hide your car is for those of us, when we purchased vehicles and we had car notes on them, and we were going through hardship, whether it is we lost our job or we mishandled our finances, for whatever the reason that we couldn't, and the amount of time was up and they was fencing to start being funny and looking for it, and we hadn't figured it all out yet. And so we park it at the homie's house. We, especially if we know somebody got a garage. If we know somebody got a garage, that's perfect, right? Because if they're not on the list of your references, then that's the perfect spot to take it until you can figure it, whether you need a week, a day, whatever it is, until you can figure that out so you feel comfortable without the repo man coming, right? That's scenario number 1. What's the other 2? Somebody's going to say, well, I don't know. I didn't think there was no other 2. Well, yeah, there is. Scenario number 2 is for those of us that know that we we experienced being with people that was crazy. So we know that they got a couple screws loose upstairs. And, you know, you know, we didn't, we had to fight. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have to fight. We know that we on one of our many sagas of fighting and fucking and fucking and fighting. Okay? And we know they crazy. And so we know we ain't trying to be bothered for the next 24 hours or however long. And if they know, you know, certain people, if they know where your people is, you know, and woo-de-woo, you're like, that's the first thing they're going to bring their whole ass. You know what I'm saying? So that's when we'll decide, I'm going to need to park it somewhere. Hey, look, nigga, I'm going to need to park this motherfucker somewhere. I need to put this in the garage because you know they're going to be over here. They're going to be trying to flatten tires because y'all remember them old days. They're going to be trying to flatten tires. They're going to be trying to egg it. Whatever. Or just try even to cause problems. If they didn't do that, you know, just coming and just harassing when you didn't want to be bothered. You know, when you were trying to get a break and get away. So that's the second scenario. You got to cray-cray. And you know their tendencies. And you know that you're in a toxic relationship is you're in it. Whether it's on again, off again, whatever the case, you know that you're in it. And so you have to make concessions for yourself. Like, okay, I don't need no more problems. I don't need no more problems, so please put the car over here. Let the whole think I'm gone, bitch. Right? Or the nigga, because some of us we didn't experience it as women, you know what I'm saying? Oh gosh, yes we have. Oh my gosh. The last scenario is, it may be a combination of the second one, but it's more to do with, it's still the notion of wanting someone to think you're not where you are. So let's say you are, just for an example, let's say you're just living with somebody or you're visiting with somebody for maybe an extended period of time. Okay, maybe not living, but maybe this is just an extended visit. Okay, and not wanting anyone to know that, trying to throw someone off, whether that be a cray-cray ex or a cray-cray person you're in a relationship with, whether that be a professional, a landlord or management, whether that be whomever. It's still the notion of, okay, I'm here, but then I want it to be like I'm gone at some point, but I'm really not. So I'm going to get in the car. I'm going to have someone follow me that in another car. Right? I mean, we've all, hood folks, you know what I'm talking about. In those days, when you were in those phases of your life. And those are the scenarios, right? And I'm just going to say, I noticed some strange things. I can't say for which reason. I can just say this. I know it's not the first one. So it's going to be one of the last two. Why does that matter? Somebody's going to say on this journey. Well, because see, it's a part of the whole fuckery. And that in which is the story. Because remember, targeted individuals, you have all of these weirdos in the background constantly, especially when they've been able to corner you in, not expecting you to know what they were doing. And the fact, as you start to get liberated and free in some of these people's desperate attempts, to their own detriment, but their desperate attempts to still try bullshit, and so this means that you're going to still have, the weirdo stalkers, the crazy weirdy neighbor people. You're going to still have that. The weirdo drivers and and we're not really giving it much attention anymore. I'm giving you all updates here and there because, as I stated last night, I'm really focusing more on the other stuff. And because by golly, just the other day, me and my son experienced, I was like, shit. I was like, yucky. But this is where I was able to pull it all in, like pull the lessons. And I was like, what is that? And this is how I had to sit. I had to go here. Because like, I need to know. I'm like, what is that? I need to know. We were taking care of business, out and about, handling the affairs, getting him ready for what's next. And it was like, it was so heavy and dense and toxic. Do y'all know that I felt it almost, I want to say, within 20 minutes, if that. And by the time the end of that whole exchange, I felt sick, not exaggerating. Like I had to vomit for no reason, because I'm perfectly fine. And this is not the regular for me. So it's not every day I feel this way, every week I feel this. No. And as I reflected, and I was guided to think and reflect on the exchange, on everything that took place, like the whole everything. And I was like, oh, snaps. I was like, that's it. That's it. So I'm figuring this out along the way. I'm starting to, the subtleness. It's like, and this is supposed to give you your clue. You know what they have conditioned us to get disconnected from? The very things that will serve us. People can sit across a desk and a table, but unless we are fully present and intentional on really paying attention to the subtleties. Because on the surface, it's like somebody they can smile, they can appear to be helpful, but you got to pay attention to the conversation. You got to pay attention to subtle energies, all of it and combined. And if there's some very nasty yuckiness, unexplainable, chances are there's something wrong. There's something wrong. Even if you don't have it all, it's something not right. And in that experience, as I reflected, what was highlighted was a couple of things that the person actually said to help me to understand how am I to evaluate kind of people that I want to do business with, or that I want my son to do business with. But not only that, to help me to make some connection about these types of personality styles, even as it pertains to the business world or the business arena. Because of business people, listen to me. Yep, I studied business too. I've had a very interesting and diverse background of experience. Most people don't know that about me. I like that kind of, because it's like, good, because you're stupid, because you have no idea. You assumed. So I understand more than people might think. But healthy. It's standard business practice, standard business model. The customer, the potential customer, is customer centered. Okay, this is a potential deal. This is a potential deal. This is a potential, because essentially at the end of the day, it's going to generate some kind of money for you. So no matter how you want to flip the pancake, and no matter what source it comes from, at the end of the day, it's potential. So when, for an example, let's say I was a real estate agent. As a real estate agent, my job is to assess my potential client. It's really not a matter of my opinion. It's just a matter of me assessing their needs, what they want, or, seeing if this is something that I am able to. I might not be able to, but if this is something based on what they're looking for that I'm able to provide, because that is the center of what I'm doing. It has nothing to do with my personal preferences. It's everything to do. And so when there's engaging, this is what was shown to me. When there's engaging with a customer that's sitting across from them, and the customer says, let me give you an example. Customer says, okay, so I'm looking for this and this and that, because he prefers this and this and that, and it's really nothing, where they're at, and this is kind of what the need is, and so forth. So this is the goal, this is the aim. The realtor, okay, if they are customer centered and understand that, first and foremost, that's not their best friend. Okay, that's, or their supervisor or their co-worker, like that. This is a potential. The person, the realtor, is gonna, first and foremost, they're gonna connect sincerely, and they're going to be fully present and keep it centralized on what the customer is saying. So their responses and their interactions will be something like, okay, they'll be pleasant, or maybe nodding or listening, and maybe even reiterating to make sure they understand, and say, okay, well, great. And if that's something that is within the means of what they have to offer in the first place, then they'll say something like, okay, well, fair enough. Based on what you're saying, if I'm understanding you correctly, then this sounds like this just might be for you, because you're saying that whatever is current there is not really, suiting the needs that you have. Even if that the realtor may be a person that's totally opposite, but they're not the customer. Antagonistic personality styles, okay? Or unhealed, whatever y'all want to call it, because forget the labels, okay? Forget about the labels in itself, because we don't technically know. We know, but we don't know, right? So put that aside. But what have we learned about toxic personalities, though? What have we learned? What have we seen as a pattern? They make everything about them, no matter what. So even in the case of business, when the theme is supposed to be on customer centered, they will then turn it around. Instead of that engagement being that way, they'll turn it around and say, when you mention of what your needs are in that conversation, they'll have this look. Like I said, it's almost as whether they're talking to their BFF, their coworker, or their supervisor, or whoever. You know what I'm saying? They will turn it into, well, I prefer, I like because, I don't like just a touch. They'll turn it into, it went right from you as the potential customer to them. Here's a disclaimer, because somebody will say, well, okay, fair enough. I'll give you the disclaimer. The disclaimer is this. It depends on the dialogue that's going on between the realtor and the potential customer. If the customer says something like, in this meeting, hey, what do you think? I'm not sure. Could you, if that's kind of a part of the vibe, then I can see where the realtor will present, trying to give an exampleship like, oh, okay, well, as for me, I personally, blah, 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 but it's not about me. It's more about what you see what I'm saying? In that scenario. But for a customer that's coming in pretty damn assertive, pretty damn straightforward, pretty damn know what they want, then, and what this is about, the lesson, the reason why I think this is given to me, I'm gonna share that. This is so that I can more readily understand it moving forward in life. Because we're not going to get away from that. It's not so I can blast them out or create some kind of fight or issue. No. Or start rolling my head going, you are, tell her, that's not what it's for. It's for me. So that I get the prompts that I need to know. And then I can ask myself some questions. As it pertains to business and any legal and binding contracts or anything that is serious in nature, anything that is going to require that you have to engage and deal with something, this is your opportunity to pause and reflect so that you can understand, because that's the person, follow me, that's the person you're going to be dealing with. And that was a part of my lessons, because I failed too. I don't know if my ancestors or team is calling it a fail per se. I'm calling it a fail in a sense of I just wasn't able, due to where I was at these times, my place of healing, understanding, and the position even, right? limited approach or thinking about things and all the conditioning and all that stuff. So now I understand, okay, this is not something that you want to rush into. If you do not have to, it's one thing to absolutely have to. It's another thing to where you really don't, and give yourself, not about being lazy, not about stalling, or, it's just about making sure that I'm being able to do the due diligence. So choices, think about it, meditate, engage, dedicate seeking out. So we're not just taking whatever. This includes, oh boy. Oh, well, I guess I should say it. Damn. Well, we're all human. We want to believe in the greater good of humanity. That's the downfall of the empath, right? It is. Because it's hard. Just like the narcs project, we project. We project an innate goodness that they don't fucking have. They project. You see it? We both. They project. They project their garbage. Their self-loathing. They project that. We project. See it? That's why it works for. Y'all will catch it one day. That's why it works for narcs. This is how. Wanting to believe in a unified decency. It don't exist. It don't. Not in this realm. The whole scarcity as a tactic. That's a tactic, by the way. When you scarcity, then you're forced, right? That's a narc tactic all day, every day. I don't want to get too deep into that conversation. Slavery, poverty, targeted populations, you name it. But if you think about it, it's control. If we limit your options, you will be forced to pick one. Hello? Right? And some of us we've healed to the point of saying, no, actually, wrong. I pick me. Because if you're trying to say, nigga, shit, if you're trying to imply, nigga, that my only op in life is to be in toxic places with toxic people and in toxic relationships, fuck you. Then fuck it. It's called battery operated. It ain't that deep. I'm gonna tell y'all what I know. It ain't that deep now. It's nice, it's great, it's fun, but it's not that deep. When you add up the cost to benefit ratio. And I'm not talking about monetary gains in dollars and cents. I'm talking about the entire thing, cost to benefit ratio. Some of us got a fucking nightmare that we can't get out of, bitch. Oh. Oh gosh, I know. Trust and believe. I know. That we can't get out of. So what was the cost to benefit ratio? This subtle energies that we have to master this. Is there beautiful things out there? Yes. But the kind of this otherworldly energy that's from our origins perhaps is like, that's not this realm. That's not, man. People look at that as weakness, and honey, you are prey, and honey, here they whole ass come. And I'm not just talking about love relationships. I'm talking about friendships. I'm talking about businesses and programs, all that. It's like, I've seen and experienced up close and personal so that I can understand that nothing is absolutely exactly quite as it seems. Where people were presented opportunities to be decent or to show their lack of human decency. And since I've experienced that, that has let me know, okay, well then you're wrong, Bloomy. You're wrong. It ain't there as a standard. That's your standard. It's not there. And guess what? It's for me to just accept, not to try to. It's like, you need to know what you need to know. I said all of this long stuff to say how it's helped me is now I'm making these adjustments as were before. You see what I'm trying to say? And I'm not saying that I got this perfectly figured out, and I'm sure there's more practice and healings and developings that need to continue to unfold as I continue to heal, right? But I can see the progression. I can see how it's working, how I'm putting it into wisdom, how I am taking it and going, oh, so here's my opportunity to do what I didn't do here and here. As it pertains to documents, is like when I learn, okay, very well, I will not be rushed, nor will I allow my son to be. But also, in general, of taking time, because we never know if we're signing into things where people from the very beginning didn't have our best interest at heart. From the very beginning. Y'all follow me? From the fucking very beginning. So it's taught me that unfortunately this world is filled with a lot of fucking predatory opportunists. Looking for, and that's it's sad, it's disgusting, and that's another thing that makes me vomit. It's disgusting. But these are the hallelujah people. This is the Jesus, God, Bible, Sage Bundle. Like, yeah, okay. It's disgusting. Makes me vomit. Preying on the vulnerabilities of people. I'm going to say this. If my suspicions about larger systems is what I think it is, if it's correct. I'll just say this. If it's correct, what I suspect about housing authorities and these systems, woe unto them. It's disgusting, because if it's true, it's just fucking disgusting. It is. First and foremost, because these motherfuckers, listen, they don't go there with me. Shit. These motherfuckers, they getting money for these damn programs, so say that shit. Okay? Number two, it's disgusting because it's these are the populations that are already vulnerable, whether that be income-based, disabilities, age, and it's like, how dare they? They're disgusting. They're fucking disgusting. Doing, because see, I know. I've worked in, for foster young adults for nonprofit organizations many, 1,000 moons ago. Y'all wouldn't know. I worked there for about 3 years. I think it was maybe 2 years, 3 years, something like that. I was case manager. I'm trying to remember how many young adults I have on my caseload. But I can tell you this. I know all about it. Just like I know chances are there's some retard in here right now. As usual. With their mental illness. But as I'm saying, I digress. I know all about it, baby. That's why I do call bullshit, too. All about it. And it's like, it's the play on the vulnerability. Oh, they don't have no other options and, no other choice. And they, whoop-de-woo, and they just have to know. They're still the customer, nigga. And then, period, it's like, where's that decency at? Where does all that decency go that everybody's pretending to have? The nepotism. I know about the nepotism. I know about the favoritism. I know about the playing with the documents, Watergate. I know all too well about the, they would call creative solution finding that is convenient when it serves them. But when it doesn't, now it's called against the rules. I believe I was to observe these things. It's a reason for it. So I can call bullshit, and so I can work with my team and accordingly behind the scene. Because right now listen, as I'm in here, only thing that I'm going to do is go and clear and go work with my son and go do some other things. And it is what it is. And I'm unstoppable and yada, yada. But there's some retards, some mental patients, undiagnosed, but indeed that comes to people like me, come to our lives constantly, sitting in there, and they're sending off nasty vibes. Remember, I'm sensitive, so I can sense it. This is what I've learned, right? Just like what happened the other day that made me sick. I'm like, what the hell? Okay, but my son too. His manifestation of things is a little bit different. How he can sense the energies and feel them and so forth. And so, but I can tell with him, which lets me know when people are coming in here doing what they've been doing for this entire time. Weird bitch, weird nigga. Doing what they've been doing. And I mean, listen to me. Some of you need to hear this. Some of you are assuming that I am talking about one particular person or one particular, this is where you're wrong. I actually have multiples ranging from my blood, okay? So this is what people need to catch up to. It's like, it ain't always ranging from my own blood, which is the first craziest nigga, okay? They're my first stalkers, okay? They are the central leaders of the first and the fourth. They're my fucking first stalkers. They're the leaders of the pack in most cases that purchase the other stalkers, nigga, bitch. Okay? Now, so they come in and they do their works that they're fucking paid for. They're getting their asses fucking handed to them. You know that? And I'm fully aware of it. And I know that they got a save face, but I can see, and this is the part of why they don't like me, because I can see past the illusion. I can see past the facades. I can see past the shiny toys. I can see. That's what bugs them. Getting their asses handed to them. And this ain't finna get no better. And it ain't gonna get no better because the first and foremost, like I said, they ain't gonna get no better until I get my damn justice. That's number one. Till me and my son get our goddamn justice entirely, bitch. Number two, because they continue, instead of going to get the much needed medication that they should have been on eons ago, on top of all the therapy possible, all the medicine, all the therapy, electric shock therapy, a lobotomy, half these motherfuckers, I sincerely believe, should be in straitjackets in padded rooms. Hey, I ain't the one stalking motherfuckers. I ain't the one trying to pay motherfuckers to do stuff. I ain't doing no damn pattern room. Them hoes and niggas need to be in the goddamn pattern room. Shit. I ain't one trying to poison bitches and shit. And poison niggas and tell me who needs to be put in a straight jacket, motherfucker. Huh? Yeah. I'm not the one doing that and then going to church. I ain't the one sitting up there in secret contacting conjurers and this one and that one to do some deaf shit and some this shit and that shit. And then my stank ass taking my whole ass, you know what I'm saying, the church the next day talking about bless the Lord on my soul. And all that is within me, bless his holy name. Huh? Give me that shit. Now, it's about to be midnight. Let me tell you what I know. They're predictable. That's the thing about narcs. They're robotic. They do the same thing over and over and over again. So, with that being said, it's time for my schedule hell. I have something to do. Mwahaha! Suckers. Well, I tried, universe. I tried, y'all. Collective tried. And guess what? We're going to spend most of our time on our good shit, on our healing, on our nurturing, like I said. But that doesn't mean we ain't going to whoop ass if we have to. And guess what? That's not wrong. Only a bully and a narc and the antagonist are going to say that. I highly believe that a lot of the stuff we've all been conditioned is a trick. It's the greatest magician, magic show, shit show of all. Give you all sorts of teachings about how you're supposed to just sit down and wait all by and by, one day in the sky, something to fall down from the heavens, you know, and how you're supposed to just, it's okay, live for the next life, bitch, and turn the other cheek and you know, fuck money, cause it don't matter, bitch, and, you know, just give it over to the Lord, to let the Lord be thineth, you know, your shit, and it's okay, your suffrage is not good. So that they don't have to pay karmic debt because you have been tricked into thinking that it's okay, and you, though you know they're telling you you're gonna suffer, and by way of consenting in a tricky nigga bitch way that they roll with that, so boom bitch, they did tell you technically you agreed, and so they can continue to dump shit on you and convince you to not fight for your rights while benefiting off of you. You're the sacrifice. Making you feel as if you are wrong. Meanwhile, they whole ass, let me tell you what I know. Let me tell you. I guarantee you that is not what they doing. They ain't saying fuck money. They not turning the other cheek. They are not, you know what I'm saying, allowing, not as far as they can control that. They're not just sitting back and allowing people to abuse or misuse and not do anything about it. They're not waiting. Tell that next time people tell they stink ass. Tell them, okay, very well then, bitch, nigga, you live for the next life as well. So what about you? Don't give me that shit. What about you then? Then we gon' you as well. But that's not what's happening, is it? It's a trick. Brainwash you to feel bad about defending yourself. Brainwash you to feel bad about wanting even. It's even brainwashing you to feel bad about wanting justice or wanting, you know what I'm saying, things to be made and fair and right. But I promise you that's not what they're doing. If somebody goes steal their little precious little John's shit, they're ready to get all of the top dog lawyers, bitch, to execute to the fullest extent of the law if it's possible. And where that is not possible and they have access and power and knowledge to all things esoteric and occult in nature, then I promise you this as well, then they are utilizing that to the fullest extent and said, where the law and the land fail, we will pick this shit up right. They trust and believe. Trust and believe. But they telling you, and they telling me, we supposed to just sit down and keep on, just keep praying, girl. Just keep praying and be faithful. Keep praying and be faithful, and you's old and you finna die. Now, has anything fucking gotten resolved? Because maybe we're supposed to do something for ourselves. Give it over to the Lord. Well, how come they didn't tell the abusers to give it over to the Lord? Hey, don't play with me. Listen, the abusers ain't giving it over to the Lord. Ain't that why they got started doing spells to begin with? The baneful magic, nefarious magic for nefarious reasons. Ain't that why they started doing something from the beginning? Don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me. Because they ain't giving it over to the Lord or God or whatever it is they claim it to believe. And beyond that, let's take it beyond that. Let's move it past magic. Okay? I'm still going to use that analogy. The abusers ain't giving it over to God. If they were, they wouldn't be seeking vengeance, would they? If that's true, then they wouldn't be putting their hands in things, because they'll be giving it over to the, giving it over to God. They wouldn't be sitting somewhere having meetings and then making a decision and saying, you know, we're going to decide to do this because we really feel like this is what's best and what's right. It's wrong. It's illegal. It's dishonorable. It's self-serving. It's out of our greed. But, we feel this is the best possible, what we should do under the circumstances. What happened to give it over to the Lord? What happened to follow the law, since that's what they like to pretend to follow? What happened to, follow the, legal, and turn over the results, since that's what they be telling us to. Turn over the results to the, give it to God. I know it's messed up, but you got to give it to God. So how come they weren't saying that when it was time for them to hand over the goods? Yeah, proves my point, just like that. Because that's when they ain't doing that. They're making decisions, and they're doing the things that is best suited for them, that's best in their favor. And in some cases, no matter at the expense of who or what. They're going to tell you to do the right thing and give it over to God. They ain't give you the right thing and give you your shit. They don't do the right thing and tell the truth and shame the devil that they claim to not serve. They ain't gonna do none of that. So y'all better get with it. A part of our healing is standing up for ourselves. And I'm not talking about this endless fighting, which is a trap. That's in, the endless back and forth, pulling you, into the, sinking you into that energy. But simply knowing that you have a right to stand up for what's right for you, to not, you see what I'm saying? It's not always about this tussle. It's just, no, this is wrong and I have something to say about it. No, this was a violation and I have something to say about it. No, this was foul. No. 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 And even in some cases, cussing people out. And because sometimes that's a part of it. Because some of us did not listen. We didn't have, our people was, came with 2 left feet and crossed eyes. Okay? Energetically speaking. And some of them were children. So unfortunately, they were children. And we're older souls. So we just was a hot mess. It's a hot fucking mess. So we didn't have, I just saw 12. We did not have no people that should have been doing that. They run, oh, I'm going somewhere. I can now feel it. I feel my engine running, right? I feel it right now. I feel it turning. Fighting for all kind of shit, but for the fucking shit. All kind of shit. Fighting for niggas, fighting for bitches, fighting for weed, fighting for drink, fighting for money. Meanwhile, negligent. To the proper care holistically of your own fucking children, allowing them to be violated, abused, misused, in worst case scenarios, being a part of that. Disgusting. Fighting for everything but what the fuck. That's where we came from. So we have to, a part of our journey is we reparent ourselves because it wasn't there. We reparent properly, healing, and then from the distorted authorities that we experienced thereafter. So a part of that and the inner child is like, no, this is what I'm calling bullshit. Too bad it's inconvenient. Too goddamn bad. That's been a part of the problem. Convenience and comforts of abusers. Too damn bad. Oh well, shouldn't be a hoe. You shouldn't be an old hoe. Oh well. Shouldn't be a criminal, an old dusty one. 1,000 years old. Oh well. Well. We have a right, you have a right to stand up for you and your kids and fight to the death. Okay? So, I know people be like, I don't want to hurt anybody. And I don't want any, this is me, because this is me. I can talk like that, because that's me. I remember that. It's like, oh, I don't want to hurt anybody. And I don't want to hurt anybody. I just want them to leave me alone. Well, guess what? They're not going to. You're dealing with lunatics. So what are you going to do? What you going to do? They're not going to. I'm going to pray for them. I remember that because that's what I've been doing my whole life. My whole life. And what did it get me and my son, you say? What did that get me? Do you want to know? Praying for them. Sending them love. What did it get me? Betrayal. Backstabbed. Got him hurt. Got us compromised. So we have to clear out the conditioning that makes us believe that is something wrong. This is even spiritually, energetically. Because if that's what's been wrong, if that's why, then you have every right to stick it to them. Every right. And I have every full intention, and it's a realized one, along with my ancestors and my spiritual guidance team, to see and ensure justice is done. So every time that my son suffers anything at all, even though he heals, he will heal and grow and evolve and all that good old stuff. I don't care. It don't matter. Every time that he is negatively impacted for 1 millisecond, I am requiring the highest amount of penalty possible to be executed to every retarded motherfucker who participated in it. And I will be co-collaborating to do my part. And it will be a sign. You torture him, I torture everything you got. You fuck with me, I have patience for the slow game, but I will destroy you. I will destroy you and everything you fucking got. The audacity and the absurdness of trying to take my life and my son's life is treason. And it will be met with the fullest penalty. For all idiots that participated in it. No mercy. And this is going to go on until I get full justice. So every time you all are here and doing spell work, I'm going to be tearing some other shit up. You understand me? So you come on my videos, I'm going to tear more shit up. And it's going to be delayed effect, so you're not going to get it. But then when it hits you, it's going to hit. Because I've already spoken. I'm going to tear some more shit up. Because take your dizzy ass off my shit. It's very simple. And then I'll go on. But I was born and made for this. Saturn. And I'm enjoying it. See, this is the only way, collective. This is it. Hope y'all know. They don't go away. And I don't recommend you spend your life fighting. But on some level, being divinely guided when you have to. When it's necessary. Especially, you know, as you try to get out the thick of things, and you know, people really ain't got no brains. They don't have none. They don't. Not if they really sat there and calculated, thinking it was a wise move to make the fuck with you. They don't. No mercy. No fear. No pain. Rocky and shit. Hell no. That's over. Mercy is for the survivors and the targets. Needs to be allocated to them. Grace, kindness, because of the injustices and how their lives have been negatively impacted because of these retards. But these other motherfuckers, hell no. No pain, no mercy, no fear. They didn't give, you guys got to keep that at the forefront. They didn't give you any, they didn't give your children any, so none. Zilch. Nada. None. Save it. Because they're like the weasels in movies who, you know what I'm saying, when they caught or when they know they finna go down or whatever, they be like, ooh. You know, like, what was the name of that movie? Like my son just said. But the name of that movie, it was The Mummy. I think it was The Mummy or The Mummy Returns. Was it The Mummy or The Mummy Returns? Anyway, the one dude character, he was, you know, the mummy dude. When the Rock's character came and shit was finna eat his ass up, you know, he was all bowing and, you know, shit like that. Oh, you know, they pretend that shit to try to save themselves, right? But then will portray you like he was trying to like kill the dude. He wasn't sorry. He wasn't trying to change or nothing. He was just being the coward that he was. Realizing that he was outmatched. And since he realized that, because if he thought he was bigger and badder, then I promise you, he wouldn't have been doing none of that. He only did that because he was caught and because he was fencing to get got. And I feel like that's what a lot of these people are. That's fencing, if they ain't going through it yet, they fence into this month and the next couple months. They ain't changing. They ain't sorry. They still doing bullshit, hoping that something will work and trying to sit back and watch to see if any of it's going to work to let you know that they ain't changing. I'm going to have some fun with some of these hoes tonight. Because like I said, take your dumb ass off my shit and go sign up for some therapy. Your spells will be better vested in on finding some self-love, self-healing spells. Your money would go a little bit further. Oh, with that being said, I think I want to do this for y'all real quick since I'm here. Actually, no, let me shut it down. I'm sorry. I want to shut it down. I'm going to check on my son real quick. I'm going to do something real quick. And I might come back onto my TikTok. But this time, it might be a little mini reading. We'll see if I feel like doing a reading on the trucker person. Let's see. see what I'm guided to do. Should I ask about the reveal of the motherfucker? That might be fun. Should I say who was in the black truck, you say? Should I say whether or not that they were here for the collective? Should I say what their intentions were? Who sent them? Why were they there? Ooh. Should I? That might be interesting. I'm going to see y'all, okay? I'm just being silly. But I'm going to go ahead and tend to my son. I'm going to do a little bit of clearing, do some whoop ass in the background. Got a couple things I need to do, bitch. For tonight, nigga. Huh? It ain't no different. Y'all stop being all special with, oh my God, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my God. Stop all that. It ain't no different if some nigga came busting through your door. You'll whoop his ass. You'll whoop the black off his ass. You came in there stupid. Yes, you would. Yes, the fuck. If they came in there, gangbusters, kicking that butt on, you know what I'm saying, coming in there, wreck shot, you know what I'm saying, over your house and kids and shit like that, like they own the place, nigga. If you had the strength and the abilities, you know what I'm saying, you would make them regret being burglars. You'll make them want to reconsider their path of wickedness. Okay? Shit. Some of y'all would have knocked the fucking implants out of some of these motherfuckers. And the fat injections out of some of their asses. I said what I said. Shit. It shouldn't be acting crazy. Shoot. Look at that. Give me that shit. Fake saved, fake delivered, and fake spiritual. Fucking thieves. Saves and something. Liars too. They're on drugs. No, bitch. No, nigga, y'all's on drugs. They mental. No, let's get this correct. You are, and always have been. They're a whore. They're whoring. No. Now let's get this correct. Which, let's be honest now. Who has always had the issues with their sex? And who has been able to be celibate for extended periods of time? So shut up and stop lying. Who's the hoe? We all got a story, but I hope you ain't a 50-year-old one. Who on drugs? The one that never touched drugs a day of their life, with the exception of a couple times with their skanky family. And some nigga they was trying to fuck with, and it was nasty and disgusting, and they never liked it ever. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Who on drugs? Not that it's anybody's business, but yeah, no, I've never been into that. Drugs and alcohol, that's not my thing. Mm-hmm. Who a hoe? Who home? Who hoeing? I got a strong will. It's not my first time. Okay? Dealt with my childhood shit. My young shit. I have willpower. See, people assume. They'll look at us, y'all. They'll look at you. Because you're sensual, because you dance, because the way you dress. And then the whole with the dress down to the fucking, like a fucking ball gown, bitch. Fucking, the fucking train and shit. You know what I'm saying? And she the real hoe. See, that's why we gotta be real careful. These assumptions of ours. Assuming because somebody got on tight pants, you know them. That's the ignorance. I call them ignorance. Because you got on tight pants or red nail polish or red lipstick. You know that's country. But then that's just that ignorance. I'm only laughing. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting a little delirious because it's been a long day. I'm laughing because I can imagine, like, I'm seeing myself, right? I'm seeing myself, and then, when I do get dressed, like when I'm going places and stuff like that, or I'm going to do something. And so, like, I'm picturing it. I'm like, okay, so they'll see me with some leather pants on and some knee-high boots. Like, y'all picture the little vibe. So, some leather pants on, right? And some knee-high boots, leather coat. What's your first thoughts based on condition? You see what I'm saying? What's the thought? The thought is when you're surface and presumptuous. Your thoughts are, oh, they hoeing. They hoeing. They're hooking. That's the natural man's thoughts, or And I'm laughing because I'm like, wow, I see why surface people, I see that. But what's fascinating is it's like, well, yeah, that's not what's happening. If I were to explain my womanhood, my life would be a lot easier than it is. Way fucking easier, bitch. I could be the sprinkle lady. I'm just saying, if I wanted that route, I can have it. I sure wouldn't have been afflicted, nor would my son. You know what I'm saying? We're dealing with unnecessary BS. especially before we left Las Vegas. That's the mecca of whatever you want. It's the mecca of if you're weird, you can find the weird. So y'all really think that I couldn't have done that? Especially, hell, you know, when I was there, I left there, and boy, I'm still working to get, I'm still, y'all, working to get to my vibe. So when I was there, yeah, because it sure wasn't like I didn't have opportunities. It ain't like that now. Don't get it twisted. That's why I laugh at the people's ignorance. That's why. Well, they're like, well, maybe you're trying to find. No, that's me. I'm me. Humans need to expand. And no, I'm not, let me get out of there. Get out of there, girl. Get out, get out, get out. Because I'm like, no, that's what they get. That's what they get. And anybody that I've dated, you know what I'm saying? I'll say this now. Anybody that I've dated, if they're honest anyway, I should say, if they're honest, then they know what they experienced with me. They know. Especially the last couple, I should say. They know. They ain't even like that. And especially like now, especially, oh shit, hell, now? Oh, honey. Ain't even like that. I value my energy. I value my energy now. Yes, I do. Meaning the exchanging, the interlinkings of, you see what I'm trying to say? So I'm not fast and loose that way. That's my youngster years. I'm not like that. And not because I'm better, it's just I've grown. I've simply grown and I've matured, and that's not the season I'm in, and I've learned what I did not know before. And I'm working too goddamn hard I've been working endlessly and tirelessly because I've had sabotagers every which way I turn. But I've been working too goddamn hard to clear my energy, to unravel it, to get, untangled. So I'm not, and I know what sex is. I know what it does. So I'm not interested in just, I'm trying to keep my shit on, trying to keep my get up right. My mind. My body, my soul, my spirit, I'm trying to not have a bunch of bodies, and I'm not talking about wear and tear per se. I'm not trying to have a bunch of, when you're sleeping with people, you're sleeping with them and whatever they got on them. Because not everybody is practicing spiritual hygiene. Not everybody is into the whole you need to clear and all that. So in other words, people just got a bunch of shit on them. Because they think it's just about, you're taking a shower. Nah, nigga, y'all, nah. You didn't, no. You didn't exchange parts. You didn't, y'all didn't entangle, there's energy. I'm telling y'all got to do your own studies on this shit. That's karma exchange, nigga. That's, with the blood and the DNA and oh my God. If they have, because some of these people out here, they just fucking with people because they fine. Somebody fine. So they just fucking with people. They got a whole shit on them, a whole incubus on their ass, a whole succubus all up on they get up. Got a whole one, a whole fucking. And then we wake up with the heebie-jeebies and shit. We wake up feeling drained, more drained than normal, and not in a cool way. We wake up with the mind feeling all discombobulated and fogged, and shit starting, yeah. We wake up, then your pH is off because somebody ain't just fucking you. And now you start like, what? Well, what the hell, nigga? I ain't doing nothing else, so what's the problem? And my previous person wasn't a week ago. So, people be trying to sidle that shit like, nah, but what about if the person didn't fuck with nobody in a year or 2 years and shit like that? Then what do you say about those situations? Well, anyway, I've been rambling on. Child, on one tonight. The assumptions. Hopefully, collective, y'all are rising above all that stuff. The limited minds of humans is fascinating. But these are good wisdom nuggets that you're going to take with you that nobody can take from you. Now you see bullshit. Because if they could assume and be so certain that you are this, and this, that, meanwhile, somebody that's got the cross on their neck and they talking hushed tones, bitch, and you know what I'm saying? They ain't saying no cuss words, and you know what I'm saying? They say God every 4 words or Jesus every 3 words and all of that, but as a whole incarnate. And yet believe, then those are the people that you are to put a little highlighter, underscore note for yourself. Their surface. Their surface. They have no depth. I'm not saying we should be walking with our butt cheeks hanging out and stuff like that. But I mean, it's your prerogative. My whole point is that people have their conditionings. You got on tight pants, you wear this and that, and that's their shit. That's the projections. Maybe for them because they was hoeing. Maybe that's what that means. If it was them, they'd be hoeing. Or they knew someone. You see what I'm trying to say? They knew someone, and in that case, this person wasn't. So there, again, is this projection. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm not. It's on sure. It's on a lock. This shit is on lock. I know I'm driving some folks nuts so right now with that, but it's on because I'm no. See, the last time, uh. No. Right now, I'm just being me. I'm, boom, meeting folks, chit-chatting, networking and living life and focused on healing my son and whoop-de-whoop. But the golden goods, oh, they on a lot. They're on a lot right now. They'll get electrocuted. Somebody try to electrocute it. Maybe that's why I felt some kind of way when I saw them boy cats ganging up on the girl cat. Because it's like she was crying. She didn't want to be bothered. It's like, see, she's trying to be pure. Maybe she don't feel like and they just couldn't fade it. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Maybe. I might go on TikTok if I have time because I got stuff to do with my son. It's getting late. Got a lot on my plate. But for those of you that came in that was actually in good energy, to you all, I address. Thank you. I appreciate you. To those of you that are on my team justice, okay? If you're on team justice, you're out there in the universe in the background, you're a part of the equalizer team and shit. My equalizer team, it's time for y'all to get these suckers pure hell. You have old bloomy blooms. Full permission. Full green light to tear these motherfuckers up. Don't be stupid and wait for somebody and some kind of misfortune and then be like, don't be stupid. Stop praying for these people and you deal with them accordingly. Okay, equalizer team? Do what you're supposed to be doing. No mercy. Okay? I ain't gonna blink. If you weren't about me, don't. My people got what they have coming to them. I won't be blinking. It shouldn't have been fucked up. It is what it is.